Hello, and welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be taking a closer look at the impact of the coronavirus on our lives. Before the emergence of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, the world was functioning in a relatively normal way. People were going about their daily lives, traveling, attending events and gatherings, and interacting with one another face to face. However, the emergence of the coronavirus in late 2019 and early 2020 changed the way the world functioned in a significant way. Governments around the world implemented measures such as lockdowns, travel restrictions, and mask mandates in an effort to slow the spread of the virus. This led to widespread disruptions in many aspects of everyday life, including work, education, and social interactions. In the aftermath of the pandemic, the world is still adjusting to the new normal. Many countries have lifted most of the lockdown measures and have reopened businesses and schools, but many people are still hesitant to return to their pre-pandemic activities due to concerns about the virus and the risk of infection. Many aspects of everyday life, such as travel and large events, have not yet returned to pre-pandemic levels, and the use of masks and social distancing measures remains common in many places. It is likely that the impact of the coronavirus pandemic will be felt for years to come. Certainly, here are some more specific examples of how the world changed before and after the coronavirus pandemic. Before the pandemic, people were able to travel freely without restrictions, such as needing to quarantine upon arrival at their destination. Large events, such as concerts, festivals, and sporting events, were being held as usual, with thousands of people attending. Most schools and workplaces were operating in person, with minimal use of online learning or remote work. In-person social interactions, such as going to restaurants, bars, and gyms, were a normal part of everyday life for many people. After the pandemic, many countries implemented travel restrictions and required travelers to quarantine upon arrival or provide a negative COVID-19 test result. International travel has decreased significantly since the start of the pandemic. Large events, such as concerts and festivals, have been delayed or cancelled, and many sporting events have been held without spectators. Many schools and workplaces have switched to online learning and remote work to reduce the risk of transmission. In-person social interactions have been restricted in many places due to social distancing measures and mask mandates. Many businesses, such as restaurants and bars, have had to limit capacity or switch to takeout or delivery services. Before the coronavirus pandemic, education and schools were functioning in a relatively traditional way, with most students attending in-person classes at physical school buildings. In many parts of the world, schools followed a traditional schedule, with classes being held from Monday to Friday, and students generally spent the majority of their day in school. However, the emergence of the pandemic led to widespread disruptions in education. In an effort to slow the spread of the virus, many governments implemented lockdowns and school closures, resulting in a shift to online learning or remote education. This meant that students had to adapt to learning from home, often using digital platforms and tools to access course materials and communicate with their teachers and classmates. In the aftermath of the pandemic, education has continued to adapt and evolve. Some schools have returned to in-person learning, while others have continued with a hybrid model that combines in-person and online learning. The use of technology in education has also increased, with many. And this is the end of today's quick video. Enjoy rest of your day.